Welcome back to the beaches of Jacksonville, where these athletes have absolutely set this beach on fire here at Hildervat. The battle on the beach, and now the team relay. We've drafted teams, Team White, Team Blue, and Team Red, all competing for $2,000 in cash prize, and of course, nobody else gets a penny, so they're going to lay it on the line today, Mike.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great race.
Oh, you can see the runners are off, and Omar is out for a little bit of redemption after what happened to him in the opening heat of this race, where he got dropped very quickly with all that long running. He's not going to have to face that today, though, Mike.
He's an obstacle guy, so he's excited to get a challenge. This is all obstacles, very heavy in that, not a lot of running.
And you can see he's going head-to-head with Robert Killian, the Spartan World Champion, as well as Ryan Woods, who was your North American Spartan Race World Champion. So quite a bit of talent going ahead of him, and you know what? Omar's not backing down. You can see that Ray is really going to try and take it to these guys. This is his moment right here.
Ryan Woods got tied up on that first rig. He's got some ground to make up.
And Omar is way out to the front. He had a really proficient, quick section through that first rig, the Kempson rig. Robert Killian has some work to do, climbing that rope, trying to put some gap between himself and Ryan Woods.
And I looked at this rig earlier. Those ropes are slippery in the new, and you get the sand on your hands and you're sweating a lot. Those rope climbs are not easy.
No, they're not. Now, this is the tricky obstacle, of course, when you transition from the ring to the pipe into that cargo net, and a lot of athletes choose to skip that ring. Omar opting for the ring, and you can see, a little slip. Those are those shorter arms, tough. That transition from Robert Killian, he's got those long arms. He's so smooth on the obstacles, in and out of this thing. And Omar has now dropped to second position for Team Blue.
Ray gambled on that long reach for that bar and missed, and it's cost him that first place position.
It sure did. Now this is the twist. The axe throw. A miss would be obstacles. And instead, Robert Killian has hit it, and he is off and rolling. Of course, right behind him, you can see two misses here from Team White and Team Blue, and they're going head-to-head. This is the penalty right here, having to go over all four of these walls. Killian thought that he had to do it and then was diverted around. He gets to skip this little section, which is not just time, it's energy.
It is. This is a difficult obstacle because, again, the advantage of getting that throw, you don't have to use those walls.
And look at that handoff. The first handoff goes from Robert Killian to Faye Stenning, and the savvy vet move, tucking it into the sports bra and then up and over that wall. She is determined to make up for that failure that she had on the final rig of the first heat the other day. She had an opportunity to move on, and that last rig killed her. So now she's got a little something to prove today, being chased by Lauren Weeks, the High Rocks World Champion.
Robert Killian had a great run in that first leg.
He sure did. He really did. And you know, Robert Killian, another guy who felt like he had something to prove. He came all the way out here, got eliminated in the first heat, and said, I want a little bit more of this Hildervat.
Exactly. This is a great format, and I love the camaraderie these athletes have with each other. Again, co-ed teams, they're out there to win some money, but there's a lot of pride on the line.
Now you got your battle for 2 and 3 right behind Faye Stenning, and that's going to be between Lauren Weeks and Lindsay Webster Atkins. And you can see Webster just slightly out in front, but her advantage in the running isn't going to be here like it was on the first day and on the second, because there isn't that long run down the beach that they have this time. It's just the deep sand, and it's much shorter, and it's all about obstacles and then that axe throw.
This is a great look. See how Faye used her hands on the ropes? A lot of these athletes are using their legs on that rope, taking advantage, spinning to that ring. Faye did use all upper body strength to get through that rope faster. But is it more efficient? Time will tell.
You know, if this was a 3-lap race, you might be concerned about her grip, but because it's only 1 lap, they can take a few more risks.
Exactly.
They don't have to worry about being as efficient and saving energy. This is about speed today. These athletes are going 100% full go the entire way. Look how aggressive Faye is running. It's a dead sprint. They're running it as if it's a half-mile race.
And David, both you and I raced with Faye last weekend at the Decafit, and we know how well she runs. She's tough, she's strong, and a real competitor.
You know, we're talking about originally an Olympic development Canadian track and field athlete, so she has the wheels. And on something short like this, you know, with her tenacity, she's just going to go for it. But all 3 athletes on the rope climb at the same time as the second racer for each of their teams. Lauren Weeks in third, Lindsay Webster just coming off it. Look at that, 1 second between them, maybe less. And this is going to be the game changer. The next 2 little sections here. the rig, of course, a pass could happen, a mistake could happen, and then that axe throw. Anything could happen on that axe throw.
I watched Lindsay on the previous heats on this obstacle. She really has a challenge with that rope. So we're going to see if she's kind of tightened up her technique on this to make up some ground.
That was an excellent transition from Faye Stenning. No hesitation at all. We get to run that back. See that little replay right there. So smooth to the bite and in and out of this obstacle. Now, a little bit more struggle. As you can see, a miss there from Lindsay Webster. She's got to restart this obstacle.
Oh, she's got to start over.
Lauren Weeks here with her chance. Can she take that lead away from Team Blue? And she nailed it. So Lauren Weeks trying to drop her.
And in this race, you can use your feet to ring the bell, unlike a lot of other obstacle course racing, and a lot of these athletes that take advantage of that.
I mean, it's an opportunity to really extend your reach. And you can see Lindsay Webster again struggling to get to that pipe. But she manages to kick that bell, and now she's giving chase again to Faye Stenning, who's onto the hoist.
This isn't a tough obstacle, but when you're really having to pull and then right down the beach, you're throwing that axe. So it's a tough combination, coming off those rigs, doing the hoist, and now having the technique to hit this throw.
And you see that miss.
And she missed.
It's a huge miss for Team Red. They were in the lead coming into this obstacle. Now, if Lauren Weeks can manage to hit this target, she's going to put her team right back out in front. Oh, what a shot from Lauren Weeks.
Great shot. Now, she doesn't have to use those walls. She can run by those walls, a huge advantage.
Team White now in the lead halfway into the race. As you can see that Annie Dube now, the third racer for Team White, out in first place. Now, Annie Dube is our sub. Nicole Miracle injured her knee yesterday. That's why she did not finish the second heat of the day. But Annie Dube, who was the winner of the elite heat out on the regular race course yesterday, outside of our King and Queen of the Beach competition, she came in to take the place, and she's got a tough task ahead of her because she's got to hold off the Queen of the Beach, Rebecca Hammond.
Rebecca, we know what she can do, and she's going after this. She's a tough competitor. She's very good on these obstacles. So Annie better not look behind her or make any mistakes on these obstacles because Rebecca's on her heels. Of
course, but you know, this is a much different race. Annie doesn't have to worry about that running speed so much with Rebecca Hammond. She just has to be smooth on the obstacles, keep up with her tempo, maybe take a few chances, of course, but don't make any mistakes, Annie. That's your big key.
That's key.
And so Annie Dube out in front right now, that deep sand helping her hold Rebecca Hammond at bay just a little bit by sapping some of her speed as she heads into the rope climb.
David, I talked to a lot of these athletes before this competition, and not many of them had a lot of racing experience in the sand. So this sand is a very difficult obstacle. It really can sap the energy out of your legs. It makes for a very challenging race for these athletes.
Wow, both of those athletes with an incredible climb. Only a second and a half or so between them, and look, that lead has evaporated. Head to head going into the final few obstacles on rig number 2. Rebecca Hammond has done this obstacle so many times this weekend. You know she'll be good at it. Can Annie keep up?
This is turning into a great relay race.
Transition to the rig. A little slip off the pipe, and Annie Dube is going to have to restart this one. Look at that.
Oh.
You can see she had the pipe, she just couldn't hold that grip. And Rebecca Hammond is out of there. Dube has dropped all the way to third place with Team White, so she's got some making up to do with these last couple obstacles.
You're so right, David, how Rebecca is so good on those obstacles. She passed the entire bar and went straight to the bell, where Annie slipped on the bar and had to start over.
You know, she's so strong and she's so talented, but also it helps to do it a few times. She's in the axe for her first time this weekend and nails it. Of course she does.
Dead center.
The queen of the beach is taking off, bringing her team in for their final round, and it's being led by Ryan Atkins, your runner-up for King of the Beach, and he has some, he's got a little something he would like to take to Veejay Jones, I would say.
That he does, and Veejay is on his heels. We know what Veejay can do. And this is the first time in this competition this weekend that Veejay has been in second place in any of those heats. So he's hungry. He sees the competition right in front of him. This is going to be a great finish.
It's a tall order for Veejay Jones. He's got some making up to do. He's going to have the heat of his life right now. And let's see how he approaches that first wall with the gusto as he goes right over the top. and into that
He made it look
net.
like a 2-foot wall.
Look at it like a cat, like a jungle cat. Veejay Jones with that lean body sorcery that he always talks about right here. He is going for it to try and bring Team Blue back into the race, but it's a tall order because Ryan Atkins is one of the best in the biz out in front.
He spent a mere 4 seconds on that obstacle. That's amazing.
Did you see that technique that Atkins had? He didn't invert at any point when he jumped to that rope. He stayed over top of it, just so much upper body strength, and was so quick through it. And again, only one grab of that rope for Veejay before he was able to transition and get to that bell. So fast. Different techniques, both so quick.
This relay race, unlike the head-to-head competition they had before, they had a lot of running in the middle of this. There's no long legs of the running, so it's purely obstacles. Makes for a tight race and makes for a very competitive race, as we're seeing today.
Absolutely. And this is Ryan Atkins coming off the rope climb, closing in on the second of 3 rigs. Now, he will have to do 3 rigs today, the final rig with the spinning grips. That's going to be part of his challenge. He just has to be clean. The lead is solid. No mistakes is the name of the game for Mr. Atkins.
Absolutely.
And here he is.
Being a little more cautious here and being smart.
Yeah, transition to that pipe, right in and out of it. Now the hoist, the axe throw could be the game changer. No one is out of it because the axe is such a challenging obstacle. And they have not had a ton of practice on that. As you can see, Veejay narrowing the gap and Ryan Kempson right behind him, trying to close that gap. It's, again, a tall order. You're talking about the 2 fastest guys out here. They've proven it all weekend. But Kempson has not been far behind, so he is a threat. As Atkins moves on
this
to the
axe throw is going to be exciting.
This is it.
He's got to nail it.
He nailed it. Ryan Atkins has nailed that axe throw. He gets to skip those walls, and now it's just one obstacle. Rig 3 standing between Team Red and the $2,000 cash prize, and one of the most sure-handed men in the field taking this obstacle on. Those spinning grips are tough.
They are tough. We saw a few of these athletes have this problems on this rig as well, so he's got to be smart. He's got to really use that grip strength. Can't afford a mistake.
One more grip to go for Ryan Atkins, and that's the bell. Ryan Atkins has claimed the title from the King of the Beach. You can see that Team Red is now victorious as they bring it home, followed by Team Blue with Veejay Jones. And Ryan Kempson bringing up 3rd place for Team White. All 3 of these men in an all-out sprint empty the tanks on this thing to finish out their Hildervat relay experience. And a little bit of camaraderie here at the end, all waiting for each other, all love.
I tell you, that's a great part about this obstacle course racing here, David, is these athletes really admire each other. Great fellowship. It was a showcase today in a great relay race by these athletes.
And you can see the $2,000 cash prize going to Team Red. Ryan Atkins, Faye Stenning, Rebecca Hammond, and Robert Killian. That is a loaded team if I've ever seen one. Well, we're here with your Battle on the Beach relay champions led by team captain Faye Stenning.
Hello.
Tell us how it went.
We just have a really strong team. We got the female winner of the individual event, and then we've got Ryan Atkins. We don't need to say much more about him. Everyone knows he is. And same with Robert Killian, and I think I really brought the team home.
You really drafted quite the squad. Was there a strategy with how you picked your order?
It was based off, well, I wanted Rebecca, obviously, again, she's the champion of the weekend, so that was my first pick, and then we knew that he wasn't losing last night because he had the final today, so he was another solid pick, and then it came between Robert and Woodsy, and unfortunately Woods had a little more fun than Robert last night, so we had to go with him.
Freaking perfect race for him. Sand doesn't matter.
Honestly, I think
alcohol in his bloodstream, so
I'm right here, guys.
I think the booze helped me last night. I took a little more risks on the obstacles than I normally do, and got lucky out there, and yeah, felt pretty good. So it was a solid weekend. It was a ton of fun. Thank you guys so much for having us.
I think strategy-wise, it's smart to pick a female first because you picked the top female, whereas other people got rid of men first, and you wouldn't have gotten the.
Yeah, exactly. So
because all the men are a little.
right, yeah.
no, it was good.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was exciting to watch.
Great. Yeah, you picked me. That was the greatest idea. Yeah, really smart.
It was exciting to watch. Congratulations, you guys, for bringing home a championship, and now on to the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys. Fun weekend. Fun weekend.
Well, that was an incredible performance from all 12 of those athletes here from Hildervat at the Battle on the Beach in Jacksonville. And of course, this isn't the last time you're gonna see it. Get yourself registered for your own Hildervat experience. Go to hildervat.com to get your registration started, to get out on the beach and find out, can you unseat the king and queen of the beach? Until next time, I'm David Megita with Mike Ryan, and for Hildervat, see you there.